Ryan, you said earlier you would like to, in the 6 o'clock hour, do a little preview, as we will be out here tomorrow. We will be out here Sunday for multiple Dallas Cowboys practices and what you will be watching for.
Yeah, I think to me, let's see what's going on with, again, the defensive tackle rotation. I know that's something that we were a little bit surprised about with
Carlos.
Yeah, Carlos getting the opportunity to be the starter there. I'm interested to see if because the guy that had the really good practice was Neville Gallimore. And I'm interested to see if, in fact, they start to throw more at Gallimore, and I want to see more with Bohanna as well. Now, maybe it won't allow that to happen until we get into some inside run periods and stuff, that 9-on-7 stuff. That's when you'll probably see more run defense things with Bohanna and them getting the opportunity. But I'm going to keep an eye on those defensive tackles. I'm going to see if those cornerbacks can carry it on. The cornerbacks have done a pretty nice job of at least through one practice, see if they can continue to build that momentum going forward. And on the flip side of that, hey, wide receivers, Jeff, you guys need to go out there and make some plays for me on the outside.
Okay, so that is one of the things that over the weekend, because over the weekend they still won't have pads on.
Right.
I believe they're going to go 4 practices before they go a padded practice.
Yes, sir.
So these will be practices 2 and 3 over the weekend. And for me, it's part of the reason I didn't really watch the offense versus defensive line, because I'm like, man, without pads, that's so weird and tough. Once they slap the pads
that's
on,
how they got
let's
fined.
see.
That's how they got fined by that, by the way, the inside practice stuff.
I love
the inside drills.
And I love that McCarthy is passive-aggressive about it, because it was asked something about having the pads on. He's like, I can't wait to have the pads on because they won't fine me for stupid stuff. It's like, come out of my pocket.
Came out of my pocket, yeah.
So that kind of cracked me up. But when you mention the receivers, just as a sports fan, one of the things that I really enjoy about training camp is when you get to see the guys that you're like, oh, I'm surrounded by 90 premier athletes in the world. And when you find individuals amongst those 90 who then transcend that.
It's crazy.
It's what you're here for, right?
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
And every year when Dez would be out there, he would do stuff like that. And it was like, what
Insane.
in the world just happened? Like, that's not human. And to me, with Amari Cooper not out here, Amari Cooper gets open all day when he's out here and he's practicing. Without him practicing, maybe it's unfair, but over the weekend, it's what I want to see from CeeDee Lamb, because I think he's that guy.
Oh, no,
I want to see on a few different plays, whether they're one-on-ones or 7-on-7 or team, that Dak is just like, oh, CeeDee's down there and it's one guy down there with him?
Right.
And let us see some of the silly stuff.
That's how it became obvious with Gallup at his second camp. Cooper was out for that one as well, and Gallup and Dak really developed quite a track record of that, 15 yards and in type of play that he runs off the left side.
Yeah, a little dig.
Yeah. I think, to me, though, that I want the competition with the corners. Again, I want them to get really taxed. I want these corners to have to fight.
I want them to get
every
embarrassed.
route. Yeah.
I want us to have moments where we go, yes, CeeDee is uncoverable.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, it's not doable.
To be honest with you, I didn't expect it the other way. Now, if we get to where it's a Saturday practice, it's a Sunday practice, and all of a sudden Gallup and CeeDee and those guys are not getting open, man, do you feel better about the corners, or do you feel worse about what's going on at wide receiver?
I think I'll feel better about the corners.
Because we cheerlead for those wide receivers all the time on this show.
But they've earned it.
Yeah.
Like, Michael Gallup's had a 1,000-yard season. CeeDee Lamb was on track for a 12 or 1,300-yard season as a rookie. Like, they've proven it. The corners on this team haven't proven that they are – it sounds mean, but they haven't proven that they're good NFL corners. Trevon Diggs has for probably the last 6 weeks of last year. He looked like a good NFL corner.
Yeah.
The rest of these guys have never – been considered that. They've never earned the right to be called a good NFL corner. They're an NFL corner. They're a guy that deserves to be in the league, but not above average, not good starter. So if they're able to contain Dak and Gallup and CeeDee Lamb over the weekend, then I'll view it as a positive for them, because, again, I don't worry about this offense.
What if
they're going to be good?
I've been meaning to ask you guys this. What if all three of the young guys end up being your three best corners? Would they rotate all along the outside, or Could one of them
maybe
play the
Joseph
slot?
would slide into the slot.
Yeah.
Because I think with Trevon Diggs, he's how tall is he? 6'1", 6'2", but he's kind of a long-limbed guy, right? 6'4". Joseph is the guy that's 6 foot, and if you wanted to, you could say, hey, get in the slot. We think that you have the movement skills to stick with smaller, quicker guys.
I'll tell you what, if that's the case and all those young guys and it turns into like Joseph is a better slot player, I'm okay with Jordan Lewis trying to be playing safety. And I know I talk about KZ being shorter, but I have a lot more confidence in Jordan Lewis than I would KZ coming and having to tackle, having to cover, and do those things.
So, and the other guy, I want to go back to kind of what I was saying before. I want the Des Bryant effect at Cowboys training camp. I want that guy, oh my God, what are we seeing right now? And the other guy that I think can do that, and through one day it's there a little bit, it's just hard when you're playing linebacker. It is Micah Parsons, but some of the plays that he's going to make, you'll see it, and because you're not allowed to hit the quarterback, you don't really get to see it. Like, Parsons had a sack yesterday.
He did.
But they don't even blow a whistle. They just let the play keep going. He stops. Dak rolls out. And he throws the ball somewhere. But I think he'll be a guy that will show us some freak things throughout camp.
I guarantee you the workload will not stop for him. McCarthy's talking about it. I guarantee the next two practices we watch, he'll be doing just as much as he did in that practice we watched yesterday.
It is a lot of fun to watch, and Jeff, that's a really cool point. I was sitting there watching these guys, and it's like by the time you get to the second string, or especially the third string, it's still players that were amongst the most athletic, best players in college. But compared to the ones, it's like, wow, that really took a lot of work for him to make that turn or for him to get low. You can see the effort where the good ones just do it so much more naturally, and I guess that's the kind of things you guys specialize in, identifying those traits on film.
But I'm ready for the bonkers stuff. That's what training camp is for. I'm ready to see the
guy that goes
superstars
above
do
and
the
beyond.
I'm ready to see it.